Hello and welcome to phase 2 of another edition of Sierra Leone Media Live on YouTube and Facebook. And I want to say welcome to now once more again for the second time because of the break in transmission we've been getting earlier on. I want to apologize on behalf of the team and also apologize on behalf of the panelists that will get today. We don't know what is happening. But as you all know, most times when we want to talk about serious issues regarding government situation in Sierra Leone, we get serious challenges. And we're not going to stop because we believe, say, what we are trying to do is in the best interest of Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans, them for benefit from the discussion they get. We know for say the discussion they get can be challenging sometimes. Some people don't like them, some people don't like them. But it's a platform that we share to express our concerns about where and how Sierra Leone is leading forward to the future of generations yet unborn and the current situation of how we find ourselves in Sierra Leone and what we go through. So today we were talking about the dialogue will happen between APC and the government of Sierra Leone, specifically to be with ECSL and the people who they run ECSL, with Mohamed Kone and the Electoral Commission as they represent in various different districts. As we all know, the election we don't conclude in June 24, 2023 elections. And the outcome of the elections, the name bringing come the reason why we get a dialogue because APC as a political party deny and refuse to accept the fact, say, the election was free, fair, and credible. And the people of Sierra Leone also express equally similar kind of concerns about within the APC feel not comfortable with. So for that reason, they had a dialogue. The dialogue, yes, we don't see that happen for the 1 and 2 and the 3, and we don't see the representation on both sides of who that can represents the government and also who that represents APC as a political party. We don't see what's in that happen, and then only we would I say a white paper or a paper that represents what's in the outcome of the dialogue. So recommendations, or apart from recommendations, officially the document is called resolutions. So basically, the resolutions of the decision that was put together by the people that we come for invigilate or monitor or can be in between of this dialogue will happen between APC as a political party and the government of Sierra Leone for expressing concern about why they still say they don't accept the election result. But based on the recommendation, we don't see exactly what's in the position of APC as a political party. And the emphasis way I don't want to make all along today that the fact say APC is an entity on its own and they are not talking on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone. They are talking for themselves as a political party. What we are asking questions about now the fact say the political party where they represent them political party as alone does not mean they are representing Sierra Leoneans. No. Not every Sierra Leonean is APC, not every Sierra Leonean is SAPP, but every Sierra Leonean have the right to ask questions about what they happen in the country today. So that question, then I will all don't take up that responsibility for ask question. So we bring in two panelists, them we come specifically for talk about this issue. And we don't talk about the resolution of the dialogue, and we try to see how best we can able for go into other areas of the resolution of the dialogue, which means primarily we don't talk about few things the way the dialogue consists of. And the first three elements now the fact say the president for come and address the nation in terms of peace cohesion. And secondly, APC as a political party for go back straight into parliament with their political party members of parliament, councillors and mayors elect or select by the political party within they represent. And the third one, that the fact they don't put together a committee we suppose for dialogue and bring people from various different discipline, either religious leaders, council of elders, PPRC, APC, and possibly non-Sierra Leonean, oh well, non-Sierra Leoneans as well is included, and other international partners them for come and sit down and put together a solution of how we forerun the next general election and how the election should be conducted, and what are some of the rules and regulations they will put together for continue the electoral process in Sierra Leone, for make it free, fair, and credible. That is a discussion that Govt put together, and then they take voting 8 days or 10 days or 30 days for put that together, and that commission they get for 6 months. So basically, we are struggling about the economic state of Sierra Leone, and we get people now to go we'll talk about the same thing over and over and over for 30 days, and that 30 days, you don't get forget them money for Sidom. Then one. Then they exist for 6 months. Election is all the way 2028 if it is going to happen. And when I'm saying if it is going to happen, and the fact say I am not only getting 10% sure say we get forget election 2028. Because the dysfunction parliament we don't get for the past 4 months might be one of the key elements for me could not get election 2028. But people will be surprised to hear this again, because on this same platform, 99% of all what we highlight that are concerns from the census registration to the election registration to the election itself, we highlighted concerns that we might not want to come and repeat here again after the election, and we don't come back and say the same thing. So now what we are saying is the fact, and it's what we're saying right now going forward. We don't know whether we come back to the same solution of waiting we don't come out by 2012, 2018, and 2023, now going to 2028. We're not predicting bad things to happen in Sierra Leone. We want the best for Salon. So basically, that's not the easy way we could issue them and discuss and get them kind of discussion there. So, but for as long as the internet is not owned by an individual, we'll be able to broadcast, whether be it again, be it sun, be it whatever. Not so one man gets the internet. If it is not you, it is me, or it's somebody else. So for as long as the internet does not belong to an individual, we will not stop to broadcast. Part that way God say when they stop for broadcast to do. But anyway, Abdul, I will go back to you straight away, because we don't go into the discussion. We don't get a stand on discuss. We don't need for kind to this one again back for the second time, but I think it's just a continuity from where we stop. So basically, if you there on your legs on certain discussion, then we'll be the highlight about the election, the votes, say on a party leader Matthew Wilson Samora Kamara respects the people and votes. So over to you back again and continue.
Yes, me strongly believe that, because during the election campaign, we get the opportunity for campaign with him, and it became a policy statement, where from top to bottom, we make them very clear during the campaign.
One moment, Femi, we're not getting Abdul's picture on the screen. It's just on me. Sorry once more, sir. Over to you again, Abdul.
Yes, just like I would say no more. The vote matters to Dr. and a party, because it's a party statement. And I believe, say, during the campaign, the time when we spend with them, will be the campaign. That's something where they talk about, where the party they talk about, the publicity secretary.
Abdul, hold on. We still need to get your picture on screen. Now, just me no more. They on the screen whilst you're talking. Yeah, all right, go on. Now you are on screen. Continue, sir.
Okay, like what I say no more. I just want for highlight routine Namibian experience during the election. Where I be those Dr. Samuel and the party. Big brother Alusan say, the votes no matter. And I know say sometimes we just use the word loosely no more, but me no say the voting really matter to Doctor and the party. And me say being strongly believe that, because we unroll them for play in terms of how for encourage people and for go vote and tell them the reason why they for vote and how important today. So me strongly believe say this not to lip service number from Doctor for say no more, oh yeah, the protect you vote. And they make very clear say during this conversation the dialogue just concluded. I know say definitely Doctor come up with that same talk day, because he don't talk over and over saying protect the votes them. So, and the fact that in they require or request ECSL to produce, when be saying don't become a a difficult thing for ECSL to do, because then say that they're not well, that's what they say. They're not the official body, we go pronounce anybody during the election winner or not. So then they forget to inform them. So if they never produce it after 2-3 months of acting, then question would need to be asked: why comes ECSL still not able to produce the RRL form? Is it because they get some people in the hide? And then they will need to ask them question. And maybe just believe say no more ECSL for between these mandates were just concluded. This mediation was just concluded. Me believe say ECSL for data because nobody say Mohamed Kone be data because me see picture of Barcelona, Liberia, where Marcelo Samba they make in the mockery right now. In the mockery right now, say democracy still exists. The buzzword is transparency. Can you imagine? The woman sit down at salon and they talk the same thing, but in the bash and say no, enough for talk, enough for talk. Now in the Liberia they do the same thing. And the same thing with the faithful for Nasalona, the same thing go watch over and then they do them. So we really get for really take a look and see how
recording in progress.
How don't go wrong. And then the lip service will be what I talk about back. Me believe say from the party side, to lip service. I believe say from Mother Insai administration, it's more for lip service. Because then get this, certain way of coming on television, on the media with this sarcasm kind of coming to it and can make all the time. It's just premature and immature for people that we call themselves for government and administration, and especially in a very sensitive position in the Minister of Information and one of what to call this the Chief Minister, and get this sarcasm and arrogancy way of putting the perception across. And so me believe say that from their own side will be a lip service. And me not believe say President Madabio, if I may use big brother word, and go fully commit to this communication thing where them puts together for come together, because it's just not get time. The last time in Canada television we remember as far and call APC IAMPs here and Dr. David Francis, then call we terrorists, and then when going on 98.1 in talks, say, when I ask if he and Dr. The great ABK on an apart, he said, no, we don't need for people, we need to talk. Why people are for force them? All that kind of thing, and gets a ripple effect going down, on people them. And you get a gullible society when we say, we a person as a father figure, allegedly, father of democracy, talk that kind of thing, and they send a shockwave to people them, especially people who don't know before, comprehend on exactly what's in it for saying and go see and say, this we don't cancel. I not like EBK, and during the campaign back in begin to talk, say, if EBK what do you call it, not be like a statesman, it will reduce unto nothing. That's not someone that is willing to bring peace and cohesiveness in the country. It's preaching, separation and division. And I think, say, for somebody we one go for second time, you need for changing tone, you need for changing in the deliver a message in, because if not, then Salon get to be worse. Now the economy don't turn upside down. So we need some kind of a way for bringing them back together, and then something that the only way that the could be brother say we go making something one for do, for make sure say no more the 400 million come back in the account, on whose accounts, that's a different question.
So to your conclusion, it means Alusando highlight the fact, say, if at all, well, I refuse for say president, but I think I will lend stand this small from Alusando. I lend some from you just for the purpose of the discussion, but we still not accept the facts yet of what you will talk about earlier on, as in APC is not Sierra Leone, APC and APC. But again, going forward, is it primarily because of the funding where we not get coming into the country will make the president accept for come and adhere to all the resolution they have, so where the committee don't put together from this dialogue? That's question one. Question two, now, why it not being realized all these problems within the past 4 months, only now? And thirdly, the main purpose of actually sitting together with this dialogue, when they highlight on the dialogue paper, has not been mentioned in some of the resolutions. And one Now the fact say the preamble where I refuse for talk about. Now the fact say nothing that the law says or something for do with say APC disagree with the election results, and also the government of Sierra Leone highlights say it hasn't been official. Nothing that the All People's Congress has continued to ask the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone for the release of the summary of all statements of the results from the polling stations. That is a section in the Constitution of Sierra Leone called Elections Public Acts. But we still not see nothing on the resolution regarding the RRF forms. What's your take, Alusan? Because that is very much important, because that was one of the key elements of why we are where we are, because APC refused to accept the election results based on the fact that the disaggregated forms were not published, and the other document that relates to the voter voting list, nor they available when are the RRF forms. What's your take that the key elements of this particular dialogue is not mentioned in the resolution?
Well, I am Abdul, the defending party, and is got all right to defend his party. Is a party faithful, but I speak from the heart, and I speak about the people and the republic.
But earlier on, you talk about your own political party and the stance on ethics. So yes, it's equal.
I speak about the people and of the republic. In the person of Dr. Samara Kamara, I believe a very, very decent human being, an extremely decent human being. And again, I commend him for his strength of non-violence, for his strength of caring and saying, you know, while nobody die, for just let him become president. You know, that is statesman-like, that is leadership, that is strength, unbelievable strength. And then I will give Dr. Samara Kamara. Now, yes, Dr. Samara Kamara, they fought for the people's vote. But I think, say, Mr. Blam misquote me or Miss Yerimi. The political elites in Sierra Leone do not care about the people's vote. It has been and it continues to be a case of after we, now una, after una, now we. Tenure. Able una give President Bio in 2 terms. Able give President Kuma in 2 terms. We not agree. Able una self left and don't conclude. So in that respect, why do people need to go and vote? Why should I vote in a system that does not, my vote does not count? It is about who the political elite wants. It's about the agreements they've made behind closed doors. It's not about reflective of a real vote. It's not about having that transparent system where the votes are there and everyone looks at the votes and say, okay, for sure they won it. For sure they've taken it. Where the votes can be audited. What government in the last 30 years have given us an audit of the votes? None. What this current administration has done is a follow-up of what they've done previously. And I'm saying this, until and unless we get a third force or vibrant political space or the people of Sierra Leone decide for get rid of this nonsense, it will continue and there will be, and we will be the biggest losers. Now, in the resolution that was given, and up till on council far, I made very clear statement. I said there was one thing when we see there, we represent the people of Sierra Leone. Of all the recommendations they make was about setting up a committee within 30 days and then going through electoral process and all that stuff and make sure, say, that committee lasts for 6 months. We go bring up some kind of normalcy. That the only thing I see was alone. Well, you say, rightly say, am I sure if that recommendation is going to be followed? Am I sure if this administration will follow it? I am not sure. What I'm hoping, what I'm praying is that in the interest of us, the masses, in the interest of a suffering populace, in the interest of the people, where they suffer serious economic hardship and uncertainty, I hope and I pray that it will be followed, that it will be listened to. I hope they will put the gesticulation and the political posture and the arrogance aside and say, you know what, let us act let us begin to act in the interest of these people, because what you get right now, T-Boy, it is not sustainable. The kind of economic pressure they go through, it is not sustainable.
Okay, let's come to one thing where you highlight, say, the thing where you feel say they in favor of the people of Sierra Leone, that the committee. What is the possibility of this committee being non-political?
Well, it's always going to be political, T-Boy.
Well, here we go. So the people's voices
is going to be political.
It's still not being heard.
What needs to happen is the composition of this committee.
The same political party representation,
hold on.
Right?
It's a composition, getting all stakeholders involved, getting all political parties involved in this. It's not just the APC and the SLPP. It's making sure whoever sits at the top of this is open enough, or is transparent enough.
Are you seriously thinking that is going to happen?
T-Boy,
let's go back to Peace Commission.
There are people in Sierra Leone who are decent and honest human beings,
but they don't want to get involved with what we're talking about.
So what we need to do, what the political space, what the political elite of our society need to do, is to make sure those people feel comfortable and confident enough to participate. We must TK, we must have look at TK, T-Boy, we must have this right. We need to get this right. If we don't, our society will perish. Our country will perish. We need to. And that is the hope I carry. With all the skepticism, with everything that tells me it's not going to happen, with everything that tells me this we're not going to listen to, I carry a hope that they will make it happen for the sake of we picking there, we grand picking there, we great grand picking there. I hope, T-Boy, and they say, then they go, wow. And that's what I'm saying now, say 100% they will do it. I am hoping, and that hope will not fade, because the hope of for better Sierra Leone will only fade with my last breath. Okay. It is as simple as that.
All right. I totally agree that your hope is for everything that you've suggested to happen. But I always believe in examples of good and examples of the bad. And the current situation that we are in right now, that's alone. So what in me hold on to, and I hold on to I'm very strongly, now the facts say, if at all we they get people and when they put together within this committee, we go look at the leaders within this committee, who that get for head this committee, gets for be a strong party supporter, be it APC, SLPP, or whatever the political party might be. That's one. Two, we don't see over the past couple of years committees then where they don't put together where now for investigate or do something for deal with violent activities or malpractices of political parties or the people of Sierra Leone. Yeah. So basically, they will put together a committee and find out and investigate about all these things that don't happen over the past couple of years, especially for the few killings, them, the Pademba Road incident, the August 12 incident, August 10 incident. All these incidents have committees put together to investigate and find findings, right? Other than lead them committee, they also are strong party holders. And just like what you say, what is going to change that is going to favor the people of Sierra Leone that is not going to be involving political party members? So for me, it is still not going to make any difference whether we have a committee of 10, committee of 20, committee of all political parties involved, including stakeholders. I have sat in a meeting of all this representation, and we did not have an outcome when the situation was even worse than it is right now. I totally hear you when you say, oh, well, the politicians or the parliamentarians the way worked out of parliament should not be paid. Agreed. But my bone of contention, where I agree on that for, that the fact say, these are politicians. Is politics a career in Sierra Leone? Or does these people have career paths Now politics no more than study. Then career now for just being members of parliament and that's it. Without being a member of parliament, you cannot do nothing in your life. Don't you have another career path? To me, if the resolution where SLPP or the government of Sierra Leone take immediately after the election against the international observers, then we can salute, and the one the way they fund we for say tough luck, to hell with your funding, Sierra Leone is a sovereign state. And they said that. The chief minister right now, where they represent as chief minister, said that publicly. Says Sierra Leone is a sovereign state and America should not get involved in the politics of Sierra Leone. They can manage their affairs. Name back, they go sit down for dialogue. Come on, let's be realistic.
Well, T-Boy, you see, it has to do that. You know, this is what I'm talking about, the arrogancy. You see, you say one thing, and the next minute you go call back and beg for milk. You see, and they know how important this 400 million is, and it's very important to us as a nation. Don't know, say and pretend.
But 400 million is not taking Sierra Leone anywhere. As far as me concerned, that 400 million should not be given to Sierra Leone, because if they give alone, like what you say earlier on, now other in bank accounts, they end up. That's the question that we should be asking. Yeah, at this current state in time, if we begin to talk about the economic situation in Sierra Leone, everything has gone up, rocketed high. 100%, some 50, some 110%.
Well, T-Boy, sorry to cut you off. If that's the case, if we say, okay, let the money not come, you know, and then I understand the basis of the side they come from. If they say the money not for come, like we big brother say, everything don't go up. You know, right now that they tax people, like even if you get small land, then they tax you. You go get well, you go get well that you owe for that. They tax you for that. So obviously you find out that if that, I know they say that money will justify anything for reduce the taxes, but at the end of the day, money they can the government and the country in general. So this government is got to find any way, any loophole, you understand, for make sure say money come up from the poor people. And in return, what's not 800,000? One bag of sorrow don't cost 700,000. So if they pay you 800,000 on average a month, then you know you're doomed. You know, so you find out say all in kinds of, you find out the corruption will go up higher, because you go always do things on the side. We will give you money rather than the legitimate money they get every month. You know, so me they say I'm in a boat where you say the money we need them as a country. You understand? But other than the country, we need them. You understand? Now, matter if you need them or not the country need them. And when the money come, how we will utilize them, you know. And yes, if that money they come, yes, we need parliamentarians and from both sides or the other side, you understand, all parties, for be able to scrutinize full parliament, in parliament, for make sure so that money go allocated in the right place. You see, and yes, people, that you're also right there. Yes, this so-called cohesiveness within the talk, I strongly believe that yes, all parties should be involved in this. This is not just a matter between APC and SLPP, because if that's the case, then to your trajectory, then we don't lost the plot. You understand? It has to be a total inclusiveness. You understand? And I'm not just talking just the political party. I'm talking about the religious council, even though they don't lost their moral, you know, status right now in public perception. You understand? But we still need them. You understand? As long as they're still there in existence, we still need them. The Peace Commission with them from about 3-4 years ago. You know, even we ECOWAS people them just to mediate and just to make sure that all these things they put together are still, you know, followed through. You know, and so yes, I believe say yes, and I talk from both sides. I'm not just talk on the APC affiliation side. Even we will be in a government, we still apply for the MCC. So it means a lot to us as a nation. So no consider us, and me in America, my own politics, I'm well balanced. You know, and then they just say, okay, well, because me APC, anything what they're talking about based on the APC. I'm trying to look at it from both ways, because that way they go for be more objective. You know, so yes, the 400 million is needed. You know, but again, we need parliamentarians, we need other officials, or state guarantor. We're going to scrutinize that money. The civil societies. We don't know why it's now other than civil society.
But you see, you they highlight
society,
all...
no civil society, the political societies.
Well, you see, we they highlight all these concerns, yeah. And over the past 5 years in Sierra Leone, we still get this 400 million and more from various different UN agencies. Then we don't make meaningful contributions to develop the economy.
Look at the COVID alone. We get up to almost 800 million.
Forget COVID. The US can bring COVID into play that much now because for the fact say we did not suffer not even 5% of the consequences of COVID in Sierra Leone, but we were still fully funded. And at a point in time, Sierra Leone was one of the safest.
Maybe 1%, probably.
Well, I would say, well, local give them 5%. And during COVID, Sierra Leone was declared to be one of the safest places on earth. But we still get full fund for COVID. But let's move on. Now, Section 5 of the, what are your documents in name? Of the resolution. It says both parties agree to the institutionalization of an inter-party dialogue framework between the APC, the SLPP, and other political parties. This will be facilitated by the government. So now we are raising all these concerns about what is happening within the political party of the government and SLPP. So how can the government facilitate this particular resolution? Alusain.
Boy, when we begin this conversation, in that resolution paper, I tell you, say, now one great topic there we concerns a lot of people. When about the election reform. Apart from that, everything else we did about party business, about APC and SRPP. And again, then two political parties here for 63 years. They don't take we for mug and they don't hoodwink queen of the country. They don't care about we, they don't care about we suffering, they don't care for developing nation, they don't care for do anything better for we. They don't see politics, and the elite don't see politics as a basket to get rich. It's a get rich quick scheme. So for as long as they're able to secure themselves and make sure say where people coming up at 2028, and then they can say they then say go for next 10 years, enrich themselves. That is what this is about. This is not about the people. See, boy, I want to understand this, and I'm saying this. This is not about the people of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Now, Mr. Blanc mentioned Dr. Samara Kamara. He is but one man. If you have, let's just do this analogy. If you get a general, a very good general.
General in the military?
In the military, a general in the military. And he's trained, his discipline, his heart is in the right place, he's nationalistic, he wants to fight for his people. But then he gets his soldiers them, and commanders them, will not care about the people there, all of them care about themselves. How do you think that general is going to win a war? How do you think that general is going to win a war? How do you think that general is going to succeed? That general will never succeed. Like Samara Kamara. Samara Kamara is surrounded by thieves, criminals, cankerworms, greedy people, selfish, self-centered politicians. We look at the history, all the way you talk to boy, they don't get career. The only career they get is politics. 30, 40, 50 years. Then this one for eat and thief and thief and thief and thief from the Republic and from the people. You know, that's where he's at. So how do you expect him, even with these negotiations, how do you expect him to go into a negotiation where he gets members of parliament, they say, Pa, go and go talk for we, where they go talk for we, make sure we'll get to money there back, make sure they pay we back, make sure we'll go inside committee there, make sure we'll decide this, make sure we'll get, this is what it's about. So he goes in there and it looks, it's a man almost betrayed. Look at his body language. Look at the man's body language. Look at his body language. People will talk, say, oh, a leader, if you don't be strong. A leader is as strong as the people who follow that leader. It doesn't matter how strong you are. If the people who are meant to be in that room with you, who are meant to take your policies, who are meant to carry your aims, who are meant to carry your directives, do not follow it. They're self-centered and it's all about themselves. You are not going to succeed. Now, for the APC, this might be a very successful negotiation. For the SRPP, this might be a very successful dialogue. And the theme of this dialogue, when it come out, Sierra Leone wins, quote unquote. Sierra Leone did not win. What won was a political party system. The APC and the SRPP won. Period. Sierra Leone has not won, because if Sierra Leone had won, the first thing that should have happened was the release of all political prisoners and all innocent people from prisons. The doors of Panemba Road, the doors of Bo, McKinney, Kenema, Poloko, wherever they are, the prison cells, the police cells will have been open and people will have been walking out free today. as the first gesture. That's that. The second one, that was to make sure that our votes count. They could have stuck to the guns and said, let us see the aggregated results. Let us get this. Let the Electoral Commission come and say, we made a mistake, we made an error.
Agreed.
We didn't see that. We didn't see that. And this is not about hardline. This is about Sierra Leone winning. Now the political elite has sat down, they've discussed among themselves, and they say Sierra Leone win. We're all one family. You cannot keep doing this to us and keep doing this to the people and think you're going to get away with this forever. It will come a time when the people will not accept this no more. And what will happen? What will happen? I am saying the APC has failed in these negotiations. They have failed to represent us as they claim they're going to represent us. And my bone is, why disrupt our country for 4 months? For 4 months, why disrupt everything about that country? Why your stance causing us to lose 400 million as a political party? To turn around and say, oh, we're going to can't join now, but I give money back. I will charge these guys for fraud. If the government of Sierra Leone pay a single penny to a member of any political party that has not participated in governance, that will be another crime on the republic and on us. We're struggling. We're suffering. They're not going to the street giving people money for free. So say, oh, Campbell, can't take 4 months salary. They're not doing that. The government must not give them a single penny, cent, leos.
Okay, I'll sign.
Nobody should, boy.
Well, I agree and disagree, because when you have a corrupt institution, you have corrupt practices that will go through in any policy paper that they're making. But anyway, Abdul, I will give you the next resolution. It's almost similarly the same anyway, so there is not much of a difference, which says both parties commit to re-engineer and rekindle the relationships within the national socio-political ecosystem, such as between His Excellency the President and former political leaders, as in brackets, former president and vice president, the APC and SAPP leadership, etc., etc. Equally, almost similarly the same. What's your take?
Well, again, you see, Naime could get to be very careful with the kind of public forums, where they discuss the uncertainty, so especially when you call yourself a father of democracy. It means say anything you say it's either a policy statement or you forget substance. I make a reference earlier where Mr. Madabio, then be asked on our interview about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where they asked if in the former presidency talk about the Ifena party, made it very clear, body language, voice projection, and his tone. Me and to party, you will need to talk. You understand? So
you don't get blackouts. Hey, lights don't go.
Yeah, well, excuse me. Huh?
Well, anyway, that's not blackout inside London, but never mind. That's not some of the mishaps them making they happen in the own small corner. But at the time, like I say again, I know say Abdul be the type for reach out to the area where if one for highlight the fact say the president then make a statement we clearly state say over to you, Abdul. You don't come back, sorry. You're muted now. For unmute yourself. Unmute.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be reckless statements of president, a sitting president at that time for make, and it gets a ripple effect because then thing in the way he says to become a soundbite, and exactly within that soundbite, they don't mean now don't come back into this so-called new administration. They find out say Keketoma gets soundbite, Monya Senge gets soundbite, what's his name again? Chernobyl, they all get soundbite. Yeah, Chernobyl, they all get soundbite. And during the campaign, like what I said to you earlier, I understand because even Senge can apologize, say, well, even myself, I don't make some certain statements they want to make, I apologize. But, the same posture we can say it can make a change, new direction. You understand? So everything that you do publicly, it matters. So if a president is saying that he's not to party with Madam Dr. Anes Bakroma, they need to talk. You understand? It sends a message to everyone. So, and for the fact that, and I quote Madabia, so if he not behave like a statesman, I will reduce him to nothing. Una fi say Dr. Ernest Bakoma go look that statement there and just let him go underneath the carpet. I don't think so. So Madabia gets a lot of soul searching for do to make sure say yes, putting and put by this paper here so. And go make sure say yes and apologize to Dr. EBK publicly. If Namina Dr. EBK, I go ask and make him publicly because that statement when he makes it, it will reduce him to nothing. Now publicly make him. You understand? So I believe say yes, then kind of they go show say yes, if matter be really ready for come together and make this country a unity country. So I strongly believe that. But I'm not feeling go do that.
Well, that's another question we go ask. But let's move on to the next one. The next one is not for Alusan. It says the government of Sierra Leone and the APC party strictly condemn all citizens at home and abroad who incite violence, spread hate speech, and disrupt national cohesion online and offline, and governments will continue all efforts to bring those involved to justice. Your take? Because this includes some of what we don't go on self-exile. Although we know they say and the way how other people they might saying it, but yes, go on.
See, boy, for criticize the government, for call the government out, not a crime.
Okay.
For tell people that waiting government they do wrong, not a crime. For call people that for go shoot and kill, not crime. For call people that for go burn people that host them, not crime. For call people that say, I can't do this, not crime. But there's freedom of expression, there's freedom of assembly. And nothing say a political protest, not crime, because it is enshrined in our constitution. So a lot of the stuff where they communicated, like I say, not about people of Sierra Leone, about their own political party for cover
So
them back.
why this for be a specific element of the dialogue? Because it has nothing to do with it in the first place.
National cohesion is an important aspect of governance.
And that is part of the
these are part of SLPP they own demand they get. Now, part of SLPP they own demand they get. I'm sure this was SLPP's to say, look, condemn down the other abroad when they talk political violence. But in Sierra Leone, we don't see man they talk, say they go kill APC man and they go suck them this and go this and that. We don't say across. And it's not good. You know, no matter where I come up from, it's not good. Whether I'm from C4 and NGC and APC and SLPP, it's not good. It's not right, it's not good. And like I said earlier, and this was one of the reasons why I'm drawn to someone like Samora Kamara. The reason being, he preaches non-violence. He espouses non-violence. He talk about non-violence. He live by non-violence. You know, I admire a man will say, even though I feel aggrieved, even though this was stolen from me, but nobody should die in my name. Nobody must go out on the streets and die just because I want to become president or just because my presidency has been stolen. You know, and I say this, it takes strength. It takes strength of character. It takes somebody who loving people. It takes somebody who gets people in the heart. And I don't care what the APC says. That is what Sierra Leone needs in terms of a leader who can feel, who has empathy for the people. A leader who will feel for that mama. So national cohesion is important. So for me, anybody will send message say, oh Lord, disrupts our Lord, this and that. I think every Sierra Leonean must look at them and say, stop. Now, if we're calling for protest, the SL people in the opposition, they were calling for protest. It's not a crime. Political people are going to call for protest. They're going to call for disobedience, civil disobedience. They're going to call for a sit down, a stay at home. That there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I believe a sit at home, non-violence protest is the best protest in the country where the military or the police will shoot and kill. I think if we call and we're not happy, we should call for sit at home. We should vote with our actions and we should say, this is not right. But because we know if we go on the streets, we're going to be killed, we are staying home. That is an effective protest. I don't think there's anything absolutely wrong with it. What is wrong is when people call for violence, when people call and go on social media and give hate speech, Lord kill many man, Lord kill Timmy Mande, Lord kill people from the north, Lord kill people from the south, the east, the west. You know, that is absolutely wrong. And I condemn it unreservedly. But for call for protest, for call for political match, for sit at home is wrong. No, it's not. That is democracy. That is what we sign up to. If you don't want to live in a democratic country, then the only thing that brought SLPP to governance was democracy, was because they were voted in. It is democracy. And they had the rights.
Yeah.
They had the rights when they were out, when they were in opposition. They did a lot of protests. They did it in London, they did it in America, they did it everywhere. They were protesting. So why should people protest? They had people speaking about the government in any way. They would make statements about undiscriminated ways, unbelievable, and they still do it. So that shouldn't be in the communique. I think that was stupid for it to be in that communique, to talk about people who talk about political. No, what should have happened is a simple, straightforward word. We condemn unreservedly anybody who preaches political violence in Sierra Leone, who preaches war and destruction of the country. That's that. But I call for protest. I say when people are upset and they don't get their way, let them stay at home as a nation. Let us stay at home.
Okay.
When this dialogue, when the APC was not happy, I was very much in favor of non-participation, disengagement from governance. Because if we're going to engage with you in governance, and that means nothing, why should we engage with you? And again, I'm sorry, T-Boy, we'll all come back to this point here. Now that the APC is going to go back to governance, what is going to happen?
Nothing.
They're going to be
Nothing is still going to happen.
They have the SLPP has what, 98 members of parliament? Or
yeah,
what?
So nothing is still going to happen.
They have a majority, they can bulldoze. It's a simple majority system. So what can they stop?
Nothing.
What difference are they going to make to us? And this is what I'm saying. This is about them and money's in their pocket, not about us, the people, and about the republic.
Okay, Abdul, you're about to come in.
Yeah, sorry, Femi. I mean, T-Boy. You see, if ECSL before don't do the needful, improve them and show we the RL form then they to what in people that they say, if we don't also prove for what in me experience, if we don't also prove say yes, freedom gets more MP them from the APC than they already stated. You understand? So if we don't get that balance there, because me no say Tom Polidi, the one person we win that seat, they, fair enough to say, I will talk him. Now strong person from the SLPP. So now I make him win that seat. If not be any other post we they represent Tom Polidi, enough for the win that seat there. So now I make Tom Polidi get 9 seats out of 10. Bombali gets 8 out of 8 or 9 out of 9 out of 9. And then we go down Postdoco, especially Postdoco. No way on earth APC, lose that amount of seats there. Not under these 5 years, we don't happen so. So me believe say then I form then they go don't testify say yes APC for don't get more seats than a parliament if not past SLPP. You understand? And I want for add on to what you say again, big brother. I want for support you strongly. I strongly believe in the sit-at-home protest. You understand? Especially the way this Madam Pio in government the last 5 years don't treat people. You understand? Yes, sit-at-home will mean say yes economically people will strain for a couple of days. You understand? As in the economy. But at the end of the day, if it prevents somebody from getting shocked, you understand? I prefer that day for make somebody come on a street and go do that day. So I'm totally with you on that one. So that day on make number because me no will go lie to anybody say yes. I want to make people come on a street. If not peaceful protest, then the police then provide that peaceful space. You understand? Say yes, then we'll provide that day. Without all the scrutiny, say, oh, we need this, we need that, we need 21 days of approval and all the kind of thing, then fine. No, don't us. Because remember last time, the last protest they asked the citizens don't us, what's in the people do? The police, the authorities do. And so now come out, when I go do our business because they know there's a ripple effect of people sitting at home, you understand, and do the peaceful protest at home. So yes, but this RL form it really has
But the RF form has not been mentioned in all the resolution made by the
because
committee.
It was not part of the mandate. This is what I was saying to you earlier. It was
no,
not part of the
it
mandate
is.
from the mediators.
It is.
The mediators.
It is.
No, it is not because they
no.
don't have the laws.
Okay, let us show you Insai it. It is part of the. It is part of the preamble. The preamble is basically the reason why we get into the dialogue. So on this note, nothing that the laws of the Republic of Sierra Leone. No, that's not that one. Okay, nothing that All People's Congress has continued to ask. Okay, that's the one. On Preamble E. Preamble E says, noting that the All People's Congress has continued to ask for the Electoral Commission of Sierra Leone for the release of the summary of all statements of the results from the polling stations. Section 92 Public Election Act 2022 mandated that for the 24 June 23 election. So basically, that is included on the preamble of some of the reasons why the dialogue was put together.
By law, who should produce that? It's ECSL.
Thank you. But how comes we did not have that on the resolution?
So this is why I said ECSL should have been part of this dialogue from the start.
Okay. To me, I'm asking this question again. Why on earth is ECSL not on this dialogue? Because not the reason we make this dialogue start in the first place.
Well, that answer will be from the government itself.
No, not the government. It's APC as a political party. Now they not make the claim. Say ECSL no produce the result of the election. They announced the result.
They did not. They did not.
Okay, we agree. So ECSL did not produce the results of the election. The RRF forms were not produced in any way, shape, or form. They've been asking for it. International observers have been asking for it. National observers have been asking for it. Everybody don't they ask for these RRF forms. And now that's not the reason we make APC say we not participate in governance because the result is not legitimate. Like we clearly state, APC for demand majority in parliament based on the result of the RRF forms, if provided by ECSL boss, right? So at the moment, APC is disadvantaged going back to parliament. Like Alusain say, what difference will it actually make for APC for go back to parliament? They don't have the majority. That's one. Two, they cannot effect any change in governance. They cannot change nothing that SIPP as the party in government want for pass na parliament bill. We know, of course, say the Speaker of Parliament is as corrupt as anybody else will know. APC don't get majority na parliament from 2018 election, then remove their majority unconstitutionally. So now the constitution don't give SLPP as a political party forget more people representing them in parliament when they give APC no leg to stand on. So why going back to parliament? Why stop not going to parliament where the reason we make APC refuse for going to parliament has not been addressed? It is not part of the resolution of this dialogue. Why would you accept that? But I'll clearly say it's because of the purpose of financial and political gains. Who can question that? Nobody. Nobody know the way now observer in the politics of Sierra Leone, we go tell you say it is not in the interest of political parties rather than the interest of Sierra Leoneans. So let's move on. Anyway, because if we continue for dwell on this, it could be forever. But as far as me concerned, I highlighted this last week for say, if me now being APC, what I will demand is two things. One, I don't say the RRF form not for commerce. Okay, forget that. But my position in terms of the dialogue will be based on a few things. One, we forget back with majority in our parliament, whether the RRF will come out or not. We forget with majority back in parliament. How? I don't know. It has to be done. Anyhow, una do no more. That's not one. Reason being, it means APC should have control of bill being passed in parliament, whether they agree or disagree. They should have the country at their best interest for me to be able to accept them bill and they for go through or not. Constitutionally, the constitution of Sierra Leone should not be touched, even if they are going to be majority in parliament or not. But guess what? When parliament begin for seats just now, we see the first few things they begin passing in parliament for vote for. It will be the constitution. It will be the constitution of Sierra Leone. But I see we they talk Boku talk, we don't know what they say because we know to lie there, we know to constitution makers there, we need a review on that. And the other thing we are put in place now, the fact say APC cannot get presidential status or vice president status anymore. That's fine. But they should have key ministries so that they will form a coalition government, which means they are fully participating in the governance of Sierra Leone. That's not my own position where I've been told last week. And I make it clear. If none of those issues are addressed in favor of APC, then it's a waste of time. And it is indeed a waste of time because the people of Sierra Leone are not going to benefit nothing from this. The only people that will benefit are the politicians, not even the political party, the politicians. Because like the clearly states say, some political prisoners will be released. According to the list where APC they provide them, why should APC provide the list? APC don't know all the people where they know arrest when a political prisoner. They don't study them all. They know the people who are arrested na Kenema, na Bo, na Makeni, na Kailaun, na Friton. They don't have none of those people's names on the list because some of them also even party card carriers and stuff. So how una go know them all when they arrest?
You know,
but Alusai say blatantly they should have released all political prisoners, regardless of whether you participate actively or non-actively, or whether you were arrested during campaign or not doing campaign. Period. We should not be going further to ask for the list.
You know, I've experienced 2 arrests, Natonkuleli, Mabuka, and Mile 91 during this election campaign. The first one just before the election, 1 month towards the election. The City Minister of Youth, Rona Mohamed Oman Bangura, he arrests the deputy publicity of Tonkolili. You understand? They just take advantage of an arrester. Paso will go bigger. You understand? Will bigger. You understand? And at the end of the day, they not charge them. So why arrest them in the first place? Just because you can.
Paran Tarawali, we na the clerk of parliament, tie bandana na in aid, sit down na jeep window.
Yes.
The old cut last night on.
Yes.
Then they go upline for go cut people in foot and handed. We saw that. You talk about what? So let's move on. Let's go to the last resolution. We say there shall be actions and commitments by the parties to implement and agree or implement the agreements reached during the mediated dialogue. To this end, the government of Sierra Leone and the APC party commits to the establishment of an independent committee of moral guarantors whose membership shall be agreed by the parties to support and monitor the implementation of these agreements. My question to that before I show it to you guys is regarding the moral guarantors. The moral guarantors in Sierra Leone has let the people of Sierra Leone down. From all the various different facets of the moral guarantors, religious leaders, political leaders, peace commission, civil societies, these are all moral guarantors in Sierra Leone, and they've let the police security, the military, and the judiciary. They've all let down Sierra Leoneans within the past 20 or 30 years. I'm making it blanket, but I think within the past 5 years, it has been extremely worse for the moral guarantors to lose their respect as moral guarantors in Sierra Leone. So what will be your own take on actually selecting moral guarantors again to monitor the process of the agreement to make sure that the agreement is implemented? Abdul, let me come to you first on that, because I think you as a political party member and you are already in the position right now for look at these documents, how it will affect you now. So you believe in the moral guarantors then for come back and play any pivotal role for make sure, say, the government of Sierra Leone and APC implement some of this agreement?
The irony is the fact that we don't go all the way to the ECOWAS, the Commonwealth, the AU, you understand, for can't do this mediation. It simply means say yes, so moral guarantor, then to your point, they don't lost in credibility or in trust. You understand? And it's a shame on them now, the fact that we have to go all the way there, knock on those people's doors for them to have this kind of conversations. So I think, say, on reflection, they should be looking at themselves and say, you know what, we do better. We have to do better. Because don't forget to the peace commission that then do this. So they're also not part of the moral guarantors. You understand? So I think, say, the peace how do you call them again? This peace committee where all this mediate. I think, say, themselves gets more responsibility now to reach out to this moral guarantor, be the interreligious council, the disabled, whatever you want to call them. Let them sit down and go back to the drawing board and ask themselves, what do you make we not able for sit down as a nation, we are the moral guarantor there, and talk here. Family talk. You remember back in the day we had this family talk, people go around the country. So what happened to these people? What happened to them? You see? So and I think us as politicians, we also have to give them the room and the space to be able to navigate, to be able to function properly. You understand? You know, and as soon as when new governments come, the chairman of the committee, they need to change it today. You understand? So all that, so we need to stop all them things and then say get together your mandate and then your electoral rules and policies there where they control or govern them. You see, and if they make, anyway, Tibo, it's very difficult. But I really hope, say, on reflection, we as a nation, they're not just the moral guarantor, because the nation itself is a moral guarantor. You understand? We have to reflect on ourselves. Why do we have to go all the way to the AU, Commonwealth, the European Union, just for them to come and put black and white, simple, plain English, that we have to do this and this? So we as a nation, we have this reflection on us.
Okay. I'll send over to you on this. On the final statement of the resolution.
Before the signature, just above the signature.
What's your take on the moral guarantors playing a pivotal role for mediate, say, execute these agreements by both political parties? Alusan, you're muted. You're gone.
What liberty? What liberty? What liberty? Moral guarantors my foot.
Why do you say that?
Moral guarantors my foot. The only moral guarantors that Sierra Leone needs is its people. It's sincerity of leadership.
So are you saying the moral guarantors cannot give us that? So how do you think they will be able to mediate?
What are they giving us?
Well, they are the ones that are going to make sure that we execute these agreements.
What have they given to us before?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking you because I think you are the one that have hope. You have hope. You hope we don't give it, don't so strong. You make a believe small of that you hope.
I am hopeful. I'm hopeful. But the idea that we must rely on moral guarantors to make this happen is madness.
Why?
I am hopeful of a country that we as a people can be truthful to ourselves.
Agreed.
If it doesn't matter how many moral guarantors we have, if we're ingrainedly dishonest to ourselves as a people, it is not going to happen. So when I say moral guarantors my foot, I'm asking our leaders and those who are in leadership positions for now to be sincere to themselves and then be sincere to us, the people. I don't care how many moral guarantors we have. If we lack sincerity, it is not going to happen. We do not need moral guarantors. What we need is sincerity in the people who are going to do what they say they're going to do. All the moral guarantor can do is to remind you of the things you said. They cannot force you or make you do it.
So that is where you come in to say the people of Sierra Leone should be the moral guarantors.
We, the people, must be the moral guarantors.
I agree.
Not foreigners, not foreign organizations, not foreign leaders, because it's all self-interest.
So how do you think the people of Sierra Leone are going to be able to execute this as being the moral guarantor for make sure they're able to comply to the agreement?
Because the people of Sierra Leone are the ones who are going to have to execute this agreement. From David Senge to President Madabio.
But David Senge is not one of us because it don't make clearly to be 2019 say he left in position and go back to America, go enjoy life.
From David Senge, Julius Madabio, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Samuel Kamara, Richard Conte, Mr. Abdullah, Mr. Yomkela, Kane Yomkela.
Ah, beg they are not calling name.
Hold on. Mr. Kane Yomkela.
Sophia Kwa.
They need
over my dead body.
They need to be sincere
but
with
okay.
the people. Hold on, T-boy.
Alusan. No, Alusan.
They need to be sincere.
Alusan, we have to be serious about sincerity.
And exactly
even ourselves mentioning the word sincerity and calling names, we have to be sincere about that. Because we know for sure majority of the names that you've put together are not sincere to Sierra Leone.
And this is what these are the people.
Every single one of them.
These are the people who are going to be asked to do what is on that piece of paper.
Yeah, but every single one of them cannot prove to Sierra Leoneans that they're
well,
sincere.
like I said, for the next 4 years, 8 months, at least, these are the people who are going to be there to make sure that is carried out. So when I say they need to be sincere, they need to be sincere to us, the people, and about us, and about making sure these things are implemented.
Okay.
No moral guarantor is going to beat them. Now, listen to the statement from the EU, ECOWAS, African Union, that we do not have the mandate to make sure these people do what you said you want them to do. All we can do is be here to observe, to mediate, and to say, oh, no, halal, no faith, no talk.
Okay,
That's
so
what the
what
guarantors are giving us. They've
so
already
what-
told us what their mandate is. What
so
we
what-
need are not moral guarantors. What we need are sincere people who are sincere about this process.
for the fact that you mentioned the statement of what the EU, ECOWAS, and the African Union or whoever has made statements in regards to what their commitments are to Sierra Leone, it brings me back to the question of saying, why do we need international, national, and possibly political parties and all the other stakeholders to be involved in a committee that will put together the right documents of how to run the electoral process come 2028. These are people who have made it very clear to us that they cannot involve in the political affairs of the country. They can only make recommendations before and after. So how are they going to sit in a committee to put together a document that we should use that will apply free, fair, and credible election for 2028? Do you think they can get involved in that? And why would they put a statement like that on the resolution that includes all of them?
Sincerity, T-Boy, like I said, we need sincerity. These are the people who have to do it, nobody else. The president and his appointees are the ones who have to carry this out.
Okay.
If they're not sincere, doesn't matter what guarantors we have, doesn't matter who we have sitting there, they will not do it.
Okay.
From previous statements, David Senga said, we are a sovereign nation. Nobody can tell us what to do.
Exactly.
And we're a sovereign people. We're a sovereign nation. Nobody can tell us what to do. We have to take the bull by the horn and do what is right for our people and our country.
Okay.
Until we do that, that is not going to happen. So that statement about moral guarantors, that was just put there for those who do not understand what that word means. To say, oh, well, we'll get international committee will come. Again,
well, that's why,
like
that's
I
why
said,
I'm going to believe you. I'm going to support you in a belief service. That particular statement.
like I said, for fool we, then take we for mug. Then take we say we're stupid.
Well, we have a cool service on the documents itself.
Then take we say we're stupid.
Okay.
That last one, then take we say we're stupid. Then we don't take say, but this one, no, what away them. We don't know what away we. Then they say, look, now fool with me. Look and talk the language. Moral guarantors.
Right.
Moral guarantors.
You don't have the moral, that's basically.
Moral
So well, we didn't miss the word. We didn't miss the word.
Moral guarantors.
Yeah, we didn't miss the word.
You're bringing people with no morality to come and become moral guarantors.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So basically, we're still back in square one. Okay, now I'm not saying we don't get a break earlier on for almost half an hour, and we come back on, and we know we're able to completely run the program as planned earlier on. So now let's go to the final part of the conversation for tonight. We get for be way forward. What will be your conclusion, if I will ask, in terms of the dialogue we don't happen for the past 3 days and the reports, or what's not the word again with them put span? I keep forgetting it, man. It's not report.
It's a communique. It's a communique on the resolutions.
So
okay.
What will be your take? What will be your take on all of these documents for going forward as a nation? Abdul, and your summary for today's program.
First thing first, and I would say the party and Dr. Samura as the leader for continue for bang on ECSL and the government to produce the RR reforms them, because Nadande go only constitute say yes, Madab you know win. You understand? Until that happened, let's look what Big Brother say, Madab you know the president for now. You understand? And at the only the RR reform them, you know, with them put them together and compare to what we get, go show say yes, definitely. If anything, you understand, APC or SLPP not miss the threshold. That's one. And then I want to make it very clear. I say yes, Dr. Samuel, and care about the people and vote them. And because me witness and be there with time during the campaign at the Tonkoleli side and parts of Kamakwe, you know, and I see say yes, he really care about the people and votes them. You know, and also this MP then return and the mayoral and the chair ladies and chairman and then the councillors, I think say eventually that one they get for happen anyway, because you know get for, you know, would I go sustain them. You understand? And you get from members say these people are already officially elected, so they cannot go back to the civil servant work or unless they have a private business, they can continue doing that. But they cannot go back to a paid job, you know, that they used to, you know, they had in the past, you know, like the teachers them, or would that be working at council or somebody who would work at the civil. So it's not going to work. So at some point, eventually, they never go back. But I just don't want to make my bang where I use this and say, I'll be telling them saying they can't. You understand? No. You know, so that's the idea, and I hope say then we'll go back and do the needful, and then we'll get the right support now within the parliament, and we will pick who that will be the leader in the parliament, and that person they go for guide them, you know, for make sure say yes, then do the right thing this time going forward. Don't know just to follow no more them bulldoze with. You understand? Because you're not parliamentarian, you get leverage for reach out to other parties than the parliament. But now this PR system, now two parties they will get. So how can we lobby to the SLPP government when they want to pass the bill? So that's going to be very difficult, you know. And if we don't have a strong leader in parliament to be able to lobby to the SLPP to say no, this bill here will now pass through, not strong enough, not good enough, benefits the country. You understand? It will be very difficult for the leader of parliament going forward, because right now we all know, say, Cherikoko, for the past 5 years, social media don't scrutinize her. So anybody will get for take the leadership role in the parliament and get for the under the mirror this time, 10 times past Cherikoko. You understand? And I want for me to continue for all the peace, you understand, that we country, you know, and we have to be very careful how we do utterances then on social media and then public forums. So we therefore be very careful. All learn for, you know, encourage people. All learn for spread the love, you know, and make sure say politics no can divide me. You understand? Let politics no can divide me, you know. And now I remember during the campaign we'll be the go corner, because me go corner wanted. It was fearful, you know. It was fearful, T-Boy and Big Brother. It was very fearful.
And I know.
You know, it was very fearful. But way then Canada did not. It was nothing. It was literally, there you go. You're welcome. You understand? You know, so I know we'll say because the Northerners, they're more peaceful. I know we'll say that they're not peaceful. I know we'll say that but during the campaign, you really see, say, yes, there's this political divide. You see, SA people in the the North, and the campaign, nothing they happen with them. Absolutely. You see, so we need for change all in trajectory, and people like we so are progressive and expose people. APC needs somebody like me inside the party strongly, and I make this very clearly. You understand? Oh, just because I don't get white hair or me, I don't get bokuya, I don't mean say me na picking. I think almost 40, so me want to picking again. So APC me at the big one now, and I make space for me. Yeah, I need to go with this trajectory, say the old pattern for commodity people. No, not so that I need the goals, but just to say no more. We need a radical inclusion.
Radical inclusion and David Senge.
You see, so yeah, so at the big me, I strongly believe that the APC party, and I know we left the party because I know we get the symbol because of this and that. Guys, now the constituents, and they call me and say, Abdullah, we saw we will not be vote for you. You understand? But it don't be. You understand? We don't move on. And I hope say the person will go representing our constituency and do the needful, even though that's questionable, but with the hope. You see, so and the continue say there we as Sierra Leoneans law continue. Though we monitor, we what we they put in our social media, especially social media. We get very, very gullible people in our society, very gullible. You know, some people all they want for no more listen without no substance. You see, and sometimes we don't want for kind of social media for say something just for go viral. We want for go viral something we get substance. Something where they change people in mind for better Sierra Leone and the image. Matter be saying don't spend money for make Sierra Leone the image, but yet still will not see that image date. They call the opposition terrorists. They say this and that. So there they beg you, Matter be where you minister in the kind of na social media or public fraud, and the sarcasm una cotton, the arrogance una cotton. You know, then 2 days there, incident before the EU, the European Union, the American ambassador in the talk say, you know, so we win the election, eh? And I'm thinking, what kind of arrogance is that? The same EU then they know say being madam, win the election, Mr. Threshold. You see? So, I'll go all on there for now.
All right, thank you very much, Abdul. And I don't go hold your account on anything right now. I go left and force in the open. But I believe, say, yes, you don't request publicly for like APC to give you a space so that you can be actively involved. One thing I want for say, not because you are a young person, but I believe strongly say currently, the state at which we didn't alone, sorry, me, I go back for the old party and for take power. Because you nothing do. For maybe selfish reason, the old party not get for go marry 5 women again. They're not going to go build 5 houses again. They're not going to go drive the most expensive car anymore. They're not going to go buy the most expensive Louis Vuitton, Versace, or D&G. Old party basically not get nothing for lose anymore. It's just about to serve. Maybe if we hold them at 2 testicles, we'll be able to squeeze something out of them for make them stay focused. But really younger generation right now, I'll make myself and few more others as an example. Our eyes are widely open to the streets of Freetown. That's one. Our eyes are widely open to the things they will not be able to achieve when we were in our 20s. We want to achieve all of them now because we are in front of the doorsteps of power, or we have access to cash, or we think we are in position of authority, so we want for express ourselves against the one and all will be the fates we. So that's my only bone of contention for the younger generation taking up office. We've seen already the implementation of the very few way we don't get. Arrogancy, disrespect, don't know how to speak, don't not control their languages. They're making statements that they think is okay, but it's not. They are flaunting wealth. They're dressing in a way that they're spending 90% of their time on social media. So how much work are they doing? But you tell me one old power in a ministry right now, we don't see on social media. We talk about in ministry. None, because they don't have time. So basically, I think my reservation is still very strong on bringing in young people on board governance because they still don't have the experience and they're still gullible and they still look for that fanciful thing.
I take you word for that. I strongly believe what you say so, but I know they say let them come out, so not only premise that.
No, I know. I know they say the same way then come out, but I strongly believe say also they should be a key part of what is happening. Again, when you look at the West, you get Joe Biden for become the leader of America doesn't necessarily mean he's running the state affairs of America. He's got young people behind the scene doing all the work, but he's the leader. It means somebody who is well calculated, well clued up. He knows exactly what is happening with vast experience of making the right decision and get people in for implement the decision in there. Over to you, Alusan. What will be your take on the resolution and the paper of documents with the non-release, and what's the way forward to Sierra Leone for Sierra Leone?
First of all, I just say thank you to the one that we listen to. We One That Forever watch this program, and thank you to Mr. Blah. Thank you to you, T-Boy. Thank you to Sarah Jem. Thank you to Femi. To on my way, don't partake today. T-Boy, Mina Salomon. I'm a nationalist. I believe in Sierra Leone. Let God help we. Let God give the leadership we care about we. But more importantly, make we get with people and for begin understand what is good for them and what's bad for them. Make the one that we don't old people that in bondage for such a long time. Let God make sure, let God make their hand then wither so they will release we from the bondage of oppression of 63 years of governance, of pillage, of wickedness, of sheer evil to we people there. Let God make that day end soon. For waiting to happen, for this will happen, I hope say the one that will lead this process, where they before this process, let God touch their hearts, make them work for the people there. If this becomes a turning point for the republic, for people there, alhamdulillah. And I pray to God that God will make this a new beginning for people there. We've already been let down, we already feel betrayed. The country changa, the country difficult. People are struggling, people are suffering. Let us come together collectively and let we lift ourselves out of this bondage. My appeal to the mass of the APC, we must stop for support them people and we hate we. My appeal to the mass of the SLPP, we must stop for support the people that we hate we. Because we corporates go up, not the APC corporates go up, now salon corporates go up. We will not able to go school. Where that mommy not able to feed the pikin. Where mama they die in hospital because medicine not there. You know, they ask whose party they support. You know, ask if na C4C, na NGC, na APC, na SLPP. We're all victims of this wicked political system, and it needs to end. My hope is that then people go look and go back and they're not motorman them. We set not motorman them. We people in a motorman them. And then go stop for thief resources and go stop for making resources there. Then personal property and distribute them. I say this, I say again. And I remember in 2018, I get a dialogue with the EU. And I said to them, we do not need aid. What we need is a leadership. What we need are good leaders. What we need are leaders who can manage our resources equitably. That's what we need. Not aid, not money coming from anywhere else. We need good managers, and Sierra Leone lack good managers. We need good people in our governance, and we're short of that. And let us hope for the next 4 years, this government will be able to reduce we suffering, go able to reduce inflation, go able to manage economy, manage we currency, and manage social cohesion, and bring peace and stability in our country. Let us hope for that. Because as Mr. Blady called for our reform, I am saying the APC had already, by this communique, agree that His Excellency will stay in power till 2028. They've given him the mandate, they've given him the legitimacy, and now I let APC begin to about our reform, this and that. Let them stop that nonsense. It needs to stop. They've agreed, let them move forward, and if they're going to reform the electoral system, let us reform the electoral system. Again, I just feel sorry for one honest man who I think say inside the APC will get let down when I Dr. Samuel Kamara. But that's done. He's one man. We, now 7 million people, were let down every day, every minute, every second by the political system. I think so. God bless Sierra Leone, God bless the people, and let God keep you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alusine McFoy, for that summary. And I believe most of what he say, they go down very well in the minds of Sierra Leoneans and people who watch this particular program tonight. And for just go quickly on some of the stuff that we don't highlight, they are all on point. And the one that we are possibly go look at and say, well, maybe not. Now the issues then what we get for deal with. How many of us we don't suffer the consequences of this particular situation we find ourselves? You say now one game man no more don't suffer the consequences in the APC when I talk to Samuel Kamara. I differ on that, and I believe
But I said to you, one man at APC when I talk to Samuel Kamara, what I feel sorry for.
Yeah, you
but
feel
then,
sorry
but
for
then 7 million salon people there.
Yes,
where they suffer.
I agree.
So
but
one man
what?
in the whole of the APC, there's one man I feel sorry for.
That's your opinion. I totally agree and respect that. But again, the reason maker they say I disagree with you on that now because APC collectively have worked together behind the scene, in front of the scene, what we've seen, what we haven't seen. And I believe is a collective responsibility of all membership of the APC political party for me to sit down and agree and disagree to this particular dialogue for happen and accept the resolution of the communique and sign them. It is a joint responsibility of the party itself. I will not single out anybody. I will not single out any of the membership because as far as I'm concerned, if then we don't put this resolution together before they sit down and sign them, then for don't see who side the flaws, then for don't make their recommendation, then for don't change, then for don't edit, then for don't review, then for don't adjust and bring out something where the public will be satisfied with. And one of the key reasons they will make us feel so disappointed now, based on two elements. One, are the fact the main reason why APC as a political party refuse to participate in parliament because of the disagreements we then get for the results of the election is not included in the resolution. The RRF form we Abdullah mentioned is not included in the resolution. The reason why APC refused to go to parliament say the election is not fair, genuine, or transparent is not included in the resolution. Everything that is included in the resolution of this particular dialogue possibly not being getting nothing for do with the dialogue. As far as I'm concerned, this dialogue was a peace dialogue. 90% of the resolution of the dialogue is focusing on peace and community, political, and country cohesion. It's very important, but the not for don't fool we say this particular dialogue is for the basis of the election result, for the basis of the results we then disagree with, then make we go sit down and get this dialogue. So not just me, but I think a huge amount of Sierra Leoneans them felt so disappointed. But look at a 3-day dialogue with a 4-page, possibly 2-page, if you put the text them together properly without double line spacing. For a dialogue that has taken the APC political party 4 months or more for not participating in governance. For a dialogue, we don't make Salon, don't miss out on the MCC funding. For a dialogue, we don't make the politics of Sierra Leone has not been effective as it should be. For a dialogue, we don't put people their lives at risk. For a dialogue where people they don't die for a dialogue where they don't imprison innocent Sierra Leoneans them for a dialogue where political party members have suffered the consequences, for a dialogue where make political parties haven't been able to participate in the 2023 elections, for a dialogue we don't put so many lives at risk, for a dialogue we don't make Sierra Leoneans they don't go on self-exile, for a dialogue we make business is not as usual in Sierra Leone, na Abacha Street, na Paremba Road, na Kucho Road, na Fo Road, na Lomley, na Abacha. For a dialogue, we don't bring serious amounts of instability in Sierra Leone, both security-wise, both health-wise, education, and also the economic state of Sierra Leone is deplorable just for the basis of this dialogue. It is not just an insult to the people of Sierra Leone, but it is a slap on the face. And to me, and possibly many Sierra Leoneans out there, are not happy about the resolution of this dialogue. Yes, we know say the RRF forms will never be produced. It doesn't matter what happens from now on to Jericho. ECSL will not produce that RRF forms. We know that for sure. But I think the mandate the APC take on this dialogue will not be no. Now, until the facts of the resolution where states say the dialogue was focusing on peace and community and political cohesion. Now, that's not been the focus of this dialogue. If that's not the reason why we couldn't have this dialogue, I think we don't waste we time, we don't waste we effort, we don't waste everything we stand for as a nation. As far as me know, the dialogue might have their own significant reason to political parties included, but the people of Sierra Leone will disagree alongside APC as a political party for the outcome of the 2023 election hasn't been given anything based on this resolution with the party make. Where I say the party, now APC and the government of Sierra Leone. Majority of the recommendations of the government of Sierra Leone where they're supposed to do get options, whether they agree or disagree with the list where APC will bring come for the people waiting for release from prison or political prisoners. Again, the government therefore look into certain things then we will therefore bring forward in terms of the people that they represent in various different capacities for make sure so they put the committee together. So the government not make a full-blown commitment to nothing. Not even a 90% commitment on the resolution the way they make. Yes, they make the statement, say government will do X, Y, Z, Z, Z based on government approval. So what if the government not approve certain things the way the party they bring down to them as APC? It means then they go back to the table for begin disagree and agree. But one thing where the government confirm that the fact say APC they go back to parliament. That is not just confirmation, but it is a direct statement. Where if I can go back to that statement, when are the number 2 element, say the APC will end its non-participation in governance. That now a direct statement say una the end them, the APC will end his non-participation in governance. So it means APC don't have a choice because they will have said APC will end its non-participation in governance after they don't take this resolution to the party and the party again disagree. That might have been a little bit better for say, well, APC not agreed. But anyway, going forward as a nation, there is not much some of us can do. Going forward as a nation, there is not much many people in the diaspora can do to effect change because we haven't been given the amount of value for money that we should have. So we're not going for say we need to accept what not happen as alone. Of course, we get for accept them, but anyway, we are accepting it with a very strong mindset saying we still get for all government accountable when we totally finally agree for say yes, we accept the government in power right now and we accept everything we the government they put in place because they make and clearly back again say we are not APC. APC is not Sierra Leone. So for the fact say APC don't agree to that resolution does not significantly mean say Salon don't accept to. No. But we will continue for forge ahead with the thing that we feel to say we be able to do for make we own meaningful contribution to Sierra Leone. And like everybody else done seen at the panel, we don't condone violence. Violence should not be perpetrated in the eyes of men in Sierra Leone, whether from the diaspora, whether in Sierra Leone or whichever form it come. Alusai, one of the panelists, highlight the fact say yes, he is totally 110% in favor of political protest, violence, sit-at-home protest, reduce the amount of killings that we possibly we don't see don't happen, will be acceptable. It is not a crime to organize a protest if you aggrieve about something where you feel to say governments for do, where government not do. It is your constitutional right. But this same constitutional rights where we they rely on, now the same constitutional rights we don't put in the position where they so. Whether we agree or we don't agree to it, is going to be one of the first things that Parliament is going to look into when they resume Parliament with full participation of APC and SLPP. Unfortunately, we only have 2 political parties then where they play active role in Parliament come the next 4 years and 8 months. But that's not the massive big disadvantage of voting we don't see for these 2023 election results. So I want to say thank you once more to viewers them for joining us. And I want to apologize for the breaking communication we've been getting earlier on. We know say then they always try we. But like I said earlier on, not to nobody own the internet. For as long as the internet is not owned by an individual who will come back strong and broadcast, we not go end abruptly, except otherwise. When I say otherwise, now something that really beyond we control, we man cannot fix, then yes, we can resume the next day or the following week. But thank you very much once more for joining us for the second time, for the one over the Facebook and YouTube. And I want to say thank you massively to Alusain and Abdul for joining us. Even though we get breaking communication, they still stayed with us and we make sure say we're able to complete this program. And thank you also to Femi behind the scene. We make sure say we come back live on air, even though we get massive, serious challenges them we'll face in the initial start of this program. So stay tuned as we possibly likely come back with more programs for our next week. And we get a few more programs that will possibly happen during the weekend. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you once more for your participation. And don't forget, Sierra Leone belongs to all of us, not political parties. You might be APC, you might be SAPP, you might be C4C, you might be PMDC, you might be NGC. Sierra Leone belongs to all of us. One last thing I want to say, this is not for Alusan. I know say you talk about the third first in Sierra Leone, but I know I can comment to. I just say the statement. I did take advantage of you. I need to comment at all. I know say you talk about the third first in Sierra Leone. Well, it's not just you. Even me own brother, me own blood brother. Himself want this third force. We sit down and they watch me put in and enjoy. Because definitely, now be the one that will be the push the anthem of the third force. But we all see how I end up. And I want for calling them, but we all know what they say. So yes, we forbid the people that waiting for don't join that third force the way Alusan highlighted, say Sierra Leone need a third force for all them two political parties they are so accountable for them bad deeds. But the third force is not forthcoming. Reason being, again, we need sincere, credible, transparent, and people with morals for lead them third force until we get one. We nation not go ever get third force. Apart from that, look, we pray, let God give you people there with sincerity, with morals and value. And the last one, now empathy for the people of Sierra Leone. Maybe, just about maybe, we'll be able to change the trajectory of how Salon they go for the next 5 or 10 years to come. So thank you and stay tuned and continue
Just the last one, T-Boy.
I don't talk to I don't want to come back again.
Watch this space. Sincerity, a third force, a vibrant one. It's on its way. Watch this space.
We are not any longer going to watch this space for the
watch this space. The third force is coming, and now
it's always around.
What has happened to us? We've gotten rid of the rotten eggs, and they've left. The cankerworms have gone.
You remember the woman that's made a statement about
what is going to happen, T-Boy.
Okay, I understand. I agree, but I want to remind you of one thing. I think 7 or 8 years ago, there was a woman who made a statement about the Yabas, rottings. Yes, you remember that statement? Eh?
Mm-hmm.
That was 8 years ago, right?
Yes.
Are the Yabas better?
Yes, they're better Yabas, but you for no say for go bam. Yabas better than outside for go bam. I don't sabi it. We are still going to Kuto Road. We are coming Kuto Road.
Well, I don't know what the Yabas did. Who said should go buy Yabas?
Yabas Boku.
Dovcots?
Yabas Boku.
Usai. So basically, what I'm trying to say to you, yes, we need a third force in Sierra Leone. Very much important to have a third force. But there's a likelihood to say a third force in Sierra Leone will not last, will not stand the times of what we believe in the third force. We've seen the third force of would not be the third force now being Charles Magai. Now being what's now be NGC? No, not NGC. Remind me of Charles Magai, PMDC. That was the best of the third forces. We don't ever get Nasalon. What happened? It collapses. Why? Because of greed, because of bad politics, because of this, I go say the elements of PMDC for collapse. I go blame former President Anes Kroma greatly, because what he did was good in the beginning initially, and then he sacked all the PMDC ministers that were selected. They did not finish their term. And after that, PMDC collapsed. And what he did next, he converts them all to become APC. Now they're all not left APC, so they go back now in political parties, they will now SFPP. So a third force in Sierra Leone.
The destruction of Sierra Leone is from the APC and the SLPP.
But that has not
They're selfish, they're cankerworms, and we need to make sure we put them in their place.
So I will ask you one more question for the last time. And this, I know I'll make you come back again. No. When are we going to have the emerge? When is the third force going to emerge? Is it going to be 1 month or 6 months or 1 year towards 2028 election, or earlier than that?
Well, until they open the space for political parties, them.
It's always been open. Matter be
No,
don't come.
no, the space not open.
No,
Until now,
but
until now they open the space
President
for you.
Biyo during the campaign say
Okay.
we've opened the political space.
Okay, until now the space not open for we. Sometimes with this one will happen, so the space go open for we. I say watch the space.
Okay, I'm watching.
We will never tire. We're one with a zeal that never tires.
Is it we as C4C?
One with a zeal that never tires. There are people like me. You see, C4C is a brand. It's a brand. It could be any brand we choose, but it's a collective. It could be you, T-Boy. It could be Mr. Blah. It could be Femi sitting there.
I'm gonna bring Femi into this to say hello and bye.
What we need to do is for them to join in and say we're gonna make a third force. Is not 2 days. It takes time. It takes time to get into people's heads. It takes time to get into people's minds. But we must stay steadfast and truthful. You know, T-Boy, me a Muslim. Like you, small story. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam bring Islam camp, for 15 years, there was only 150 converts to Islam. For 15 years, there was only 150 converts. So you know what that means? It was 10 converts a year. 10 converts a year. For 15 years. Now, there's over 2 billion people. It takes time. If we believe in what we do and we're steadfast enough, T-Boy, you've known me for how many years? 25 plus years.
Understand.
There are things that I stand for, and there are people who stand for that. We just need to believe in ourselves and believe we can make this happen. No shortcuts.
I agree with your 15-year statistics of Islam. For over 65 years, Sierra Leone has been bleeding for political leaders that will change Sierra Leone. For over 65 years, we've only had 2 major political parties in Sierra Leone and none in existence above the others that are third forces. In our time, as we're still living, maybe we'll live for the next 30, 40 more years, God knows.
I believe in Sierra Leone.
For as long as you think that is going to be
for as long
possible,
as I breathe, for as long as I breathe, it's possible.
Okay, I am not denying that fact, but the fact that I'm challenging you on is the fact that a third force in Sierra Leone.
Apartheid in South Africa was for 70 years, and freedom came.
Yes. Again, we they go 70 years, we get 5 more years or 6
freedom
more.
Came. Freedom came. All I'm saying, T-Boy, is it's not about how long it takes. What we need is that time will come when it will change. And that's what I'm hopeful for. That's what we're hopeful for. It might not change in my lifetime, but if it changes in my children's lifetime, it is a battle well fought and won.
Can we have a sub-program on...
we cannot stop.
Can we have a sub-program on the third force next week?
Yes, why not? But we cannot stop, and we must not stop. And we have to continue. Because if we don't, it is the peril of our society and the peril of our kids. Mr. Blana, good man. I would have hoped he comes and join the third force rather than chase these canker worms who will not give him the space to participate. Let us chart our own cause. Let us chart our history. Let us rewrite our history. It is in our hands, not in anybody's hands. We can make Sierra Leone into a society that we want. We must believe in who we are as a people, and we must believe in ourselves. I am one human being who will say this, and I'll say it consistently and continuously. I do not mind working with any political party in Sierra Leone, but I believe we need a new political dispensation and a new political era. And that will not involve the APC and the SLPP. It will involve people who are like-minded, who care about the Republic and its people to come together. It doesn't matter from what region or what tribe or what culture they come from, and carry on with this force. And we will make it happen. We believe, and our faith is strong. Our faith is strong. And the stronger our faith becomes, we will bring people along. T-Boy, watch this space. The voice will come and the time will come. We're going to lead.
Thank you very much, Alison. I hope you come back again.
Yeah, T-Boy, can I just say something quickly, please?
You brought up it on right now. Okay, go on.
This is for the APC, and I'm begging you guys. I understand you guys have protocols and structures to follow, but they beg una come and say something to the people. Then una can say something to the people. Then are they big? You see, let people and get some form of comfort, some form of closure. I beg. And also, yes, the press conference is pending, but before that, there should be some form of communication between them and the people. That's all.
All right,
Thank you, Mr. Blah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blah. And I know see you appeal now towards your political parties, and you get a very strong stance for make sure say wherever your position lies is in the interest of the party and the country as well. So I know get no doubt in that. To Alusine, I know say yes, they crave for this third force, and definitely we are all dying to be part of this third force. And I go always say as Sierra Leoneans, the only third force political party we me go be part of. Now one we not be led by anybody. We don't be associated directly linked with a political party. Alusine, so you they out or get any political party because you've been a member of C4C and you are an executive member of C4C. So basically, I will not join your party because you have been indoctrinated with the virus of Sierra Leone politics. I understand your values. I know you very well. I know you stand for what you believe in. I've been highlighting the ADRAF situation that you guys have been involved in making sure that you contribute meaningfully to the, I understand you're muted, that you contribute meaningfully to the development of Sierra Leone. And for that reason, I respect and value you as an individual.
And just to say, I have not been indoctrinated into the politics. If I was, and that virus has infected me, I'll be sitting in some bourgeois office now, stealing the Republic of Sierra Leone's money and eating it. But I chose not to.
You see, we've been the field say the people and they run the SLPP political party, some of which we know personally, were credible individuals, extremely credible individuals that we have worked with as an organization, Sierra Leone Media, and we worked with them personally as individuals, apart from the organization structure. We have run series of major projects in so many different forms. I have family members who I personally respected that are strongly involved in both political parties over the past decades. Their views before they get into governance has never been the same after their involvement in governance. So I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just saying these things because I believe I have my own opinion. No, it's the fact that the politics of Sierra Leone is so toxic that when you get deeper into it, your ideology, your mindset, your thinking, the realism of who you are is slowly fading away, and eventually it fades out to zero. Either you have a choice. You have two choices. Either you participate or you don't participate.
I choose not to.
That's what I'm saying.
We will choose not to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I rather...
And we will choose not to. So that's why I'm saying to you, T-Boy, come join the third force.
No, not yours.
Chat. Come join the third force.
No, not yours.
I just said to you, C4C is just a banner.
Me, I didn't join you on third force. Your third force has been toxicated by the political atmosphere in Sierra Leone. So I will only join a political party where the leaders,
a new one.
No, not just new, but the leaders of that political party not hold any official political positions in previous political parties in Sierra Leone. Then I will join. Because there are many politicians that are in Sierra Leone. We not get
Femi, what are you party name?
No, bring Femi. Who's that? NGC.
Femi, the party name. Wait,
NGC.
Femi, they can you party?
No, we don't join. Now we party now. They Femi they so. Hey, Femi, oh, even Juma not in our party because Juma in our APC. He get party career kind of APC. Sometimes Juma, the only way I go camp our party small now because he not get executive position at APC. So yes. We'll accept that. No, the reason we'll accept it because he hasn't got an executive position in APC.
This my party. Only 5 people will join them. Only 5 people will join party.
Whenever I say we're not going to join political parties, so that's my position. I will not be part of any political party in Sierra Leone. we get executive members then within our political party, we don't rule or we don't serve.
Well, not allow Femi Bale say what you want to say.
No, Femi never say nothing. We keep Femi out of this. Next week, we'll do a program specifically on political parties and their formation. Who should be involved and who shouldn't. But if you say you're ready for that, I'll basically call you on that particular program. We'll put the flyer out before the weekend ends, and then we'll have a discussion on because if fine for look, we begin get then discussion there so now, so we know exactly what are going to be the new uprising political parties that are coming up in Sierra Leone that will be meaningful. When C4C come, it galvanized on all the attention of people from the east of Sierra Leone. Primarily, I go proudly say yes, C4C na Kono party, and then they eye them. But I am not part of it, even though I'm in Kono. I go say SABP primarily na Mede party, and then they eye them. I guess affiliation with Mede, I not join them. I go say APC na Timini party primarily, I not go eye them. I get Timini blood as well, but I not go join them. That is just the facts. So whichever party we get for come, we get for watch them. When KKY come, it come with the diaspora. But KKY itself basically doesn't exist. Everything about him, political party, it was just about him. Now he even destroyed the formation of voting C4C and put together, we make C4C form as a political party. So we've seen all this dishonesty in politicians that we used to respect, we used to have value for. Not anymore. But anyway, let's end this program for tonight, because if we continue, we'll not end. And as I see, I'll sign one for taking me on every single element of the new political party we impossibly likely the guy for puts together. But that is another topic of discussion for next week. So thank you, viewers, for listening to we banter back and forth, even though we do some right. But that is Sierra Leone Media for you. We sometimes thinking we are ending, but we don't end. We continue the discussion. We will start and back fresh. Well, that's what we are. That's what we're made of. We are open to discussion. We go argue, debate, and discuss things that we possibly can go out of context sometimes, and we bring it back to context. That's the purpose of the amount of luxury we'll get with the information. Again, these are learned individuals. They've got massive experience in whatever they are doing, and they believe, say, definitely sharing those opinions with us is very important, and that is why we're here as a medium, a platform. We know so that medium we invigilate people that we already don't make mistake, we can still endorse the mistake. No, they bring people that we can discuss, we challenge yourself, we challenge issues them, and then we find solution going forward. So the solution we don't find going forward for the discussion we don't get earlier on, based on the dialogue for the APC and the government of Sierra Leone, that the fact say we have to make our own meaningful contribution going forward. But we are hopeful, according to Alusan, and I back him up at some point for say, yes, I will be hopeful as well. But my trust in the governments to execute any of those resolution on the documents is forthcoming. And I'm not too sure whether they'll be able to execute them all, because we know exactly the stance they really don't take over the past couple of years, and they will continue with those stance regardless. So don't forget to join us next week and make your meaningful contribution to the program as we say goodbye and good night. And if we not see back again before the weekend, have a lovely weekend and hope to see you guys next week in another edition of How to Go Inside the Republic. We will definitely get Jumaba alongside myself and Femi Pama. We will talk about the new emerging political party situation that we're going to be finding ourselves into as we're moving forward. So thank you once more to the panelists, Abdul Blah and Alusaid McFoy, and also the viewers then video on Facebook and YouTube. And thanks for your comments. Until next week, have a good evening and good night.
May God bless alone.
Amen. Amen.